Cool. In June this year, we unveiled Bo at the Micromobility Europe conference. And this was our first unveil of the steps we're taking to enable carless cities. Today, I'm going to run through in 5 minutes what's happened in the 3 months since then, but then also a little bit of what we've got coming up next. To enable carless cities, you really first have to understand what it is that makes a car great. In the electric scooter, the focus is on the speed across town, it's on the accessibility of that transport, and it's also on the enjoyment. I've heard it a lot in this conference, the enjoyment of these journeys. So with Bo we took these core fundamentals, and we focused really hard on safety and comfort, and also a unique design. For us, safety came from SafeSteer. This is a dynamic steering stabilization system that hopefully you guys, as many of you as possible, will get to ride today. Comfort is in Air Deck. This is an engineered elastomer that removes the road chatter and vibration. And then the unique design is an outcome of the monocurve chassis, which we package all this into. Now, the 3 months since we unveiled it with the guys at Micromobility have been extraordinary. We have benefited from over $2 million in pre-order and retailer demand. We've had global headlines, and in outlets that we could never have imagined. We've been in the Financial Times, we've been in Bloomberg, and all of this has combined to allow us to build out a manufacturing basis, a fulfillment partnership, and the components that are going to allow us to deliver products into the US, into Europe, and into Asia. Now, this is all great, and it's all around how you drive the vehicle, but it doesn't really speak to why the vehicles are in the city center. Our thesis is that cars in the center doing 1 mile journeys are not the source of traffic. The traffic is coming from the cars traveling into the city. So the next area that we start to look at when we think about continuing to unbundle the car is around what those suburban riders need. For us, the priority here is power and is security. And of course, always, to quote Horace, I can't see him, is through the lens of the asymmetric advantages that the smaller vehicle delivers. So today I want to talk about a product we're calling Bo Energy. For the suburban rider coming into town, this is around your power, it's around your security. Security is built on 3 pillars. It's mechanical security, it's electronic security, and it's the service that is built on top of those 2. The power plant is solar, and it captures into an internal battery pack. We're looking at 2 kilowatts, which means your Bo charges overnight, and you get multiple charges even from a day of power collection. What matters here, from a philosophical point of view, is that you cannot unbundle the car simply to then rebundle it into another vehicle. That doesn't work. The car is already extremely good at what the car does. You have to unbundle it into separate vehicles that deliver absolute excellence and superior performance in each area. So with Bo what we want people to imagine is imagine a world in which plugging into charge is the most satisfying moment in your commute. Or imagine a world in which you can power your journeys for free forever. Or even, I guess, maybe more pertinently for this room, and as we all try and figure out how this industry develops, imagine products like this which enable revenue models that do not even exist today. So how can control of, say, access and the monetization of your vehicle create streams of revenue both for our riders and for ourselves? Bo that we unveiled in June was our beginning, and this is the next step in that. For anyone who wants to join on that journey, Bo waiting list for M delivers automatic priority for the E when we're going to ship. And the target for that is late next year, we're going to have the first units of energy come through. Now I see the screen flashing at me, and I think that means I can end and invite questions from the panel.
Please go for it.
I've got one. So the Bo E is basically a charging station that has a solar panel bundled with it?
Solar charging and the security in the panel, yeah.
So security as in like the lock where
Yeah.
Why not just charge it from like a wall outlet?
Why not charge it? So disconnect yourself from the grid. From our point of view...
Or if you've got solar panels at your house, you could charge them in that way and then power your whole house.
Sure, absolutely. And don't get me wrong, that is a solution to charging your vehicle. But at every stage, what we're looking to do is eliminate friction from that experience. So trying to make that better. Now, I've seen great photos coming out of, say, Amsterdam, where you have people running trailing leads down into their bike outside across the road, right? What we're trying to build towards is making it a better experience. So if I'm a suburban rider, what Bo E is about is not that there aren't already solutions to charging a vehicle, but if I want to take that off-grid, if I want that to cost me nothing, if I want it to be genuinely a circular process, so solar straight into my vehicle and knowing where that's come from, Bo E is a solution to that also incorporates a frictionless and very satisfying user experience.
I think you said not just ride free because the solar would capture the power, but also monetize. Could you speak a little more about that?
Sorry, I missed the second
Did you
word.
say something about monetizing it, actually making revenue off of?
Sure. So from our point of view, you have to look at where sustainable business models in the sector are going to come from. Now, if I've got my Bo parked outside, locked in the Bo E, suddenly, through our tech, you can then be allocating use of that. And that could be very limited within my friendship group, or it could be in my community, or it could just be wholesale. Anyone who wants it can book it and take it. But imagine a scenario in which, as a scooter owner, I'm at work all day, and I can actually have my scooter generating revenue, these hybrid ownership structures, and I've always been entertained by the way that Airbnb has become almost like a platform for people to buy houses and run mini hotel chains. In the same way, we can't even quite see how far those different alternative revenue models could go, but this is the sort of product that then enables that.
Just one quick question from my side. You mentioned suburban demographic a few times. Are you
Yes.
also planning to look at the urban segment, or is this solely designed and marketed in sales channels for suburban?
So that's a really good question. We unveiled in June, and whenever we're bringing product through, we have to focus really specifically on a demographic. Now, for us, it's trying to prioritize where the traffic in the center is coming from. When we look at it, the research we can find is that the traffic comes from cars traveling into the center. It's not the ones going from town to town. So where we focus ourselves is those people who are coming in from within
10 seconds.
10 seconds. What a way to put me off, Oliver. It's those cars which are coming into the center. So that's why we focused on the suburban. Of course, we're aware that the city is full of people living in apartments, so we have to solve that.
Fantastic. All right. Hey, everybody, hands together for Oscar.